Hi, and welcome to our incoming fourth grade orientation. I'm Greg Michels, and on behalf of Dr. Wilcox, the superintendent, as well as our Board of Education, again, I'd like to welcome you to the screencast of our orientation presentation. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, we're unable to meet in person, but again, I hope to provide you with important information just to, again, ease transition and to help as we move forward with some of our end of school year presentations. So again, welcome, and this is my first time running through a screencast, so I hope again to share as much information as possible. Excuse me. So just a little bit about myself. Again, Greg Michels, principal at Meridian. I'm going into year 24 here in District 102, so it's really exciting for me. Outside of school, I have what will be a freshman daughter in the fall, as well as a 7th grade son. My wife is also a 2nd grade teacher in another neighboring school district. Outside of school, I love to cook. You can always find me by the grill or in the kitchen. And of course, love to exercise. Probably need to do more of it, but I do love that as well. I'm proud to say that I am a principal of a National Blue Ribbon School of Excellence, and Meridian was awarded that in 2018. That is a very distinguished award with under 300 of those given out in any year. So it's a testament to our teachers, to our students, and to our community support. So your students, and in this case your children, are in great hands when they come to Meridian in school. So again, I just love to be able to share that and brag about that. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes here about our Portrait of a Graduate. And the Portrait of a Graduate for us represents all of the qualitative and soft skills that a student would need when they graduate District 102 and move on to Stevenson High School. Many of the things you see on this slide, they are not what we would say quantitative in nature. These are very qualitative skills that we're providing students to make them the best 21st century and global citizen as possible. And for us, the portrait is broken down into what we call the SEED, and that SEED is skilled communicator and collaborator, being the S, E, effective problem solver and decision maker, E, ethical and open-minded global citizen, and D, a determined and empowered individual. So please know that each and every day our teachers work extremely hard to promote the tenets of the SEED and to help your child grow. So I want to spend just a moment or two talking a little bit about team building. And this starting right now, actually. We are working on creating the smooth transition for kids and families over the next couple months. So typically what we have done is we've had a welcome assembly of our 3rd graders to Meridian, and we've greeted them and shared with them some of the great things that happened in school. But again, unfortunately, we were unable to do that. So again, we are going to create what we call balanced teams, and we are in that process of doing that now. A little bit more about Meridian. So our school day starts at 8 o'clock each day sharply and ends at 2:30 for students. We always encourage students to take the school bus and transportation. We all know that morning is a hustle and bustle, and sometimes kids can run late, but again, we do start at 8 o'clock. Typically, students arriving after 8 o'clock need to be signed in by a parent or guardian. In terms of our curriculum, we cover a variety of subject areas, as you well know. So every day students will have English language arts, they'll have mathematics, science, social studies, PE, Encore, lunch. They also get a period called WIN, whenever I need time as well. And I'll go into some further detail about the curriculum in just a little bit. So again, for us, really important is this idea of building a smooth transition. That starts for us in September when we have our first large team day. And team day is really a day dedicated to social emotional learning. And all of our students will get a wonderful Meridian t-shirt. It's kind of a nice memento to have over the course of the year, that we do school spirit days through student council, as well as on different assemblies and things of that nature. And for team, that's where the trust and rapport is. And These are the close-knit of about 50 students or so that will spend the most time together over the course of a school year. As I referenced, we talked about trust-building activities and team-building activities, and that's really the core of that team day in September. So, really important. Kids love it. Teachers love it as well. So let me talk to you a little bit about a team. So a team for us, we call it a team within a team concept. So I'm just going to show a couple different transitions here in the next, on this slide actually. So there you can see that any given year we may have 10 to 12 different teachers in a particular subject, or excuse me, in a grade level, so either 4th or 5th grade. So we'll use this example as 4th grade. You can then see that we take those 12 teachers and we break them down into 3 groups of 4. So those letters represent different teachers. From those groups of 4, we break the teams down even further, and we get to what we call groups of 2. So those would be the 2 teachers that are paired together for PE or other activities or have the same whatever I need time. In terms of a team within a team, I want to focus on that middle portion, and that's really where the power is. That is where our teachers are meeting on a regular basis to seek solutions, to talk about curriculum, to talk about pacing, and to talk about the needs of the 75 to 100 kids or so that might be on any given team of 3 or 4 teachers. So again, we call it a team within a team concept, and for us it works really well and still gives us a late elementary / elementary school model for, again, working with children. Over the next few slides, I want to talk a little bit about our Encore courses. Encore for us are 4 different quarterly classes. So students will get these each year, again lasting about 9 weeks or so in nature, and there are 4 of them. So the first one up is music. All students will take a music class where they'll do basic instruments, they'll learn about composers, they'll also do recorders. You can see, again, it's very interactive, and again, students have it for 40 minutes a day. They will have 1 Encore class per quarter. Next up is Project Lead the Way, and that is what we've typically come to know as a STEM class. So it's very engineering based, it's modeling based. Students watch videos and then create builds. They work with motors, they've worked with wires. So again, very hands-on, very motivating for many of our students. Next up is art class, and again, students will get a quarter of art each year, and arts allow students an outlet into a variety of mediums. Kids that love to draw, students that love to paint, sculpture, interpretation, and so kids create beautiful projects that we post throughout the school, and it's just, again, another great opportunity for kids to learn as well as to develop some self-expression. Finally, the last Encore rotation is communications, or almost like a public speaking course. And this class looks at storyboarding, to TED Talks, to Broadway, and really trying, again, as you go back to the Portrait of a Graduate, give our students the skill set they need to be successful as an effective communicator. I want to spend a few minutes talking a little bit about lunch. So lunch is, again, a time that all kids look forward to, and very similar to the elementary schools that we have a couple different choices for hot lunch. Students will get an A or B choice each and every day, but we also, as you can see in this picture, added something to differentiate ourselves from the elementary school, and that would be a full not self-serve, but a full-service sandwich bar, almost like a Subway, where students can design a sandwich and get the toppings that they want. This is a little bit more of a cost when compared to the regular hot lunch, so we always encourage parents to kind of keep an eye on that when their student does order hot lunch. We use round tables in the cafeteria as well. We found that this is really effective. It's really hard, if you think back to maybe the days of Pritchett and Tripp when they're using long tables. This allows 10 to 12 students to sit around a table and to have great conversations with one another. As we talked about this team within a team concept, a team of 4 or 3 or 4 teachers would eat at one given time. So we don't, unfortunately, get to let all students eat at one time. We do need to have a variance in our hours. And the other piece I want to add is that students will also get recess. You can see in this particular picture, this is the artist rendition of our playground. A couple of years ago, students were able to vote on the type of equipment and the color scheme of the equipment for our new Meridian playground. The kids love it. Recess is about 20 minutes and lunch is about 20 minutes. So you're looking at about a 40-minute total period. Plenty of things to do outside the playground. We have a full blacktop area. There's basketball, hoops. There's different types of balls to play with. We also have a gaga pit, which kids really love. So we'll also talk about physical education. We do have PE every day. Kids love that, getting outside when able. And we do a variety of activities, everything with team building within those first couple weeks of school, all the way to physical fitness testing. We do team sports such as football or soccer or flicker ball and hockey. Again, we also do the physical fitness testing. And one of the special units that kids really love is our bowling unit. So in terms of extracurricular activities, there are a lot of things to do for our 4th grade students, maybe different from the elementary schools. We have a spelling bee where the students who wins does get to go on to the next level. Typically it's that county level spelling bee. We also have a National Geographic bee as well, and the Nat Geo bee. Students also can qualify to take an online test to see if they can move on at the state level. So again, kids love to be able to participate in these types of academic challenges. Additionally, at Meridian, we have a talent show. Unfortunately, we got cut short this year. It's typically in April, but we actually did a virtual one where kids could still submit talent videos to us, and so we're creating a video. And again, just another great opportunity for kids. You can see that in years past we've had duets with musical instruments as well as interpretive dance, singing, joke telling. So it's a great opportunity for kids. Also, we offer a musical production. This year is The Lion King. It's held at the Buffalo Grove Performing Arts Center, and that is, or maybe it's called the CAC Community Arts Center over near the Dunkin' Donuts by Jewel and the First American Bank. Kids put on 2 different evening performances as well as 2 day performances for the friends at school. And that is a pretty long, drawn-out season. It starts typically in September, and the presentation or the actual show is not until into February or late January. Also in 4th grade, students have the ability to participate in chorus. Again, if you are interested in chorus, there'll be a sign-up sheet towards the fall. We encourage you to do so. At times it does fill up and we do have to go to a waiting list. But again, chorus gives students another outlet besides the quarter of music if they do enjoy singing. And they do a couple different shows and assemblies. Some are at our school, others will take place at Stevenson High School.